upset when Kourtney is linked to other guys?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No. I just want to kill them.
In this,
What did you say? He said, I just want to kill them.
you just want to kill them. Okay. Okay.
You know how the past sometimes refuses to stay buried? Well, that's exactly what's unfolding right now between Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian. After years of co-parenting, public ups and downs, and that unforgettable roller coaster of a love story, it seems Scott's real feelings for Kourtney are finally surfacing. And guess what? It's already stirring up tension between him and Travis Barker. Sources close to the Kardashian circle say Scott has been quietly wrestling with his emotions ever since Kourtney tied the knot with Travis. On the outside, he played it cool, smiling for the cameras, showing support, being there for the kids. But privately, insiders say he's been struggling. Apparently, Scott never fully believed it was over. Deep down, he always imagined that one day, somehow, he and Kourtney would find their way back to each other. They share 3 kids, nearly 2 decades of history. It's not easy to shut that door completely. But when Kourtney went all in with Travis, the engagement, the wedding, the non-stop PDA, and now their baby, that dream finally crumbled. People close to Scott reveal that moving on hasn't been easy. Every time he sees Kourtney and Travis together, it reopens old wounds. Friends say he's been focusing on his kids, work, and health, but the emotional toll is showing. His sarcastic humor on social media? Fading. His family appearances? Rare. And lately, fans have noticed cryptic posts, messages about letting go, loyalty, and heartbreak. And if that wasn't enough, whispers suggest Travis Barker's aware of it all. Apparently, he knows Scott still carries deep feelings for Kourtney, and it's made things awkward. One insider told Us Weekly, Travis isn't jealous, but he doesn't like the energy Scott brings around Kourtney. It's complicated. So now, the big question everyone's asking is, how long before this tension boils over? Because when love, ego, and heartbreak collide, things rarely end quietly. So what's really happening behind those Instagram perfect smiles? According to insiders, things began to unravel not long after Kourtney and Travis welcomed their baby. While the world celebrated their happy new chapter, Scott was quietly pulling away. He kept his distance, but friends say seeing Travis step into the family man role hit him harder than expected. Even though Scott has dated other women since, everyone close to him knows none of them ever came close to Kourtney. She was his first love, the mother of his kids, and the person who saw him through his lowest moments. But everything shifted when Travis entered the picture. Kourtney found the peace and passion she'd always been searching for. And for Scott, that was when reality sank in. He'd truly lost her. There've been awkward family moments too, times when Scott barely spoke to Kourtney and left early. Insiders say Travis noticed, stayed respectful, but could definitely feel the tension. Travis reportedly doesn't want drama, but he's protective of Kourtney. He won't let anyone, even Scott, disrupt her peace. Still, fans aren't convinced that all the old chemistry is gone. Many insist that Scott and Kourtney still share a spark. Subtle glances, easy laughter, an unspoken connection that's impossible to fake. Some even think Travis can feel that energy, and that's what keeps the quiet rivalry alive. While Travis seems calm and confident, Scott's emotions have been slipping through the cracks, late-night posts, solo trips, and interviews, where he dodges questions about Kourtney. It's not anger, it's heartbreak that never quite healed. But here's where things get even more layered. Fans believe Kourtney herself may be sending mixed signals. During a recent episode of The Kardashians, she got emotional talking about her past with Scott, saying, "Scott and I have so much history, he'll always be family." That one line set social media on fire. Fans flooded X and TikTok with comments like, "That didn't sound like closure." She still cares. And honestly, they might be onto something. Even though Kourtney is happily married to Travis, she's deeply loyal. She doesn't just cut people off, especially someone she shared her youth, heartbreak, and children with. So every time she reaches out for a co-parenting moment or sends a thoughtful text, it reignites a flicker of hope for Scott. Not on purpose, but enough to keep that emotional door cracked open. Insiders say Travis tries to be understanding, but it's hard. He sees how emotional Scott gets around Kourtney, and while she swears it's strictly about the kids, she reportedly carries guilt for how things ended, for moving on faster than he could, and maybe even guilt because deep down, she knows Scott's love never really faded. But ironically, her kindness might be the very thing stopping him from healing. Every gentle word, every friendly smile, it gives him just enough hope to keep waiting. For Travis, though, even patience has limits. He's been trying to rise above it, ignoring online rumors, focusing on music and family. But behind the scenes, sources say he's getting weary. One told Entertainment Tonight, Travis isn't jealous, but he's protective. What frustrates him is how Scott still seems emotionally attached. It reportedly led to a quiet but meaningful conversation between Travis and Kourtney after a family event where Scott was present. According to one insider, Travis told her, "I respect your past, but I need to feel like you're living in the present with me." That says everything. Kourtney reassured him that her heart belongs fully to him. She just wants peace for herself, her husband, and her kids. But deep down, both knew this situation isn't black and white. You can't erase more than a decade of love and pain. You just learn to live with it. Since then, sources say Travis has set some boundaries: fewer joint family hangouts, more private time, and an understanding that emotional clarity is the only way forward. As for Scott, he's slowly realizing the truth, that his chapter with Kourtney is over, and it's time to start anew. Friends describe him as more grounded lately, less about the flashy lifestyle, more about personal growth. One insider told People, "Scott's trying to rebuild not for Kourtney, but for his kids. He's learning that peace doesn't come from getting her back, it comes from letting her go." Still, letting go is hard when your entire life once revolved around someone. Every laugh, every argument, it's like a movie on repeat. But recently, fans noticed a change. Scott's spending more time with his children, posting real moments instead of glam shots, and embracing a quieter life. He still has his good days and bad ones. Some days he's zen, others the loneliness hits. As one friend said, Scott misses that sense of belonging. With Kourtney, it wasn't just love, it was home. And just when everyone thought Scott was finally at peace, boom. The internet caught fire. Paparazzi photos surfaced of him leaving a Malibu restaurant with a mystery woman. At first it looked casual, but when fans zoomed in, they noticed the woman was someone Kourtney reportedly knew. Cue the chaos. Social media lit up with speculation. Was Scott doing this to get Kourtney's attention? Was it coincidence or calculated timing? Even major outlets picked it up, hinting that maybe Scott was sending a subtle message after months of silence. One source claimed, "He's not trying to hurt anyone, but he wants to feel wanted again." But apparently, Travis wasn't too thrilled. Insiders say he found the timing interesting, especially since it happened right after a viral Barker family trip. And Kourtney? She stayed silent except for one telling Instagram story that read, "When you heal, you stop trying to prove your worth to anyone." Fans took that as a message, maybe shade, maybe closure, or maybe both. Meanwhile, Scott's been spotted more often, looking polished and smiling again. But insiders insist it's more about distraction than true healing. One friend said, "Scott's trying to move on, but deep down, he still measures everything against Kourtney. It's not revenge, it's heartbreak in disguise." And eventually, all three, Scott, Kourtney, and Travis, ended up in the same room again. Mason's birthday dinner in Calabasas. No cameras, just family. Sources say it started off cordial but tense. Scott was polite, Kourtney arrived later with Travis and the baby, and everyone could feel the unspoken history hanging in the air. Throughout the evening, Scott focused on the kids. But every time Kourtney and Travis shared a small, loving moment, a smile, a touch, it hit him. Then, an anonymous tip leaked online claiming Scott quietly pulled Kourtney aside before leaving and said, "I'm proud of you, you look happy, I always wanted that for you." She reportedly smiled, touched his arm, and replied, "I know, Scott, and I've always wanted you to find that too." No drama, no shouting, just two people finally closing a painful chapter while a third watched in quiet understanding. But of course, Hollywood stories never end there. Days later, screenshots allegedly showing messages from Scott surfaced online. In one, he wrote, "It's weird seeing her happy and realizing I'm just a chapter she outgrew." Another said, "I told her I was proud, but part of me still wishes it was us." Fans were divided. Some said it showed maturity, others thought it proved he still hadn't healed. Then came one final message that broke the internet. "I think she still feels something. You can tell by the way she looks at me it's not over." Kourtney's team denied the context, but didn't deny the messages. And that silence? It said it all. Travis's reaction, according to sources, was simple. Not angry, just done. He wants peace for everyone's sake. Meanwhile, Scott's social media went dark again, a single black and white photo, no caption, just one word in the comments. And just like that, this tangled triangle of love, loss, and loyalty continues to evolve. Because in Hollywood, some love stories don't end, they just change shape.